Hello, welcome to the match reaction. Fulham 2, Nottingham Forest 0 in a game that I thought was outstanding from Fulham, especially in the first half. We came into this off an FA Cup replay win. It got us into the fifth round of the FA Cup. 0-0 draw with Chelsea, which all the fans were absolutely delighted with. And we're on good form, and going into this game, we look at the starting 11, it was unchanged from the game against Chelsea, which was fantastic, which made more sense as to why we rested so many players against Sunderland, and of course that all came to fruition as well. I just want to get into the game, and I thought from obviously 5 minutes into the game, it's not ideal when Nottingham Forest's two centre-backs go down with the same injury in the same phase of play and have to both be substituted. I thought that was bizarre. You never see that before. Even Steve Cooper after the game said he'd never seen anything like it. Would it have changed their game plan? Would it have changed the way in which the game would have went? Possibly, but that was their issue. They had to deal with it, and it's very unfortunate. But it did maybe play to our advantage. So it was McKenna and Bolly who came off, and they were replaced. And from there, Fulham actually, it was actually quite a quiet 15 minutes. Before the first goal, not an awful lot happened. What I did find impressive, we were restricting the likes of Morgan Gibbs-White and Brennan Johnson. I think there was only one instance in that first half where one of those two got in behind. I think it might have been Morgan Gibbs-White who got in behind. He flashed the ball across the box towards Chris Wood, who couldn't quite get there. And, I thought Fulham were absolutely outstanding all game, really. Even the times we had to defend. Let's run through it in chronological order. So we had the injuries. They had the injuries, and Willian's goal comes from a free kick that was floated in by Pereira. It was bobbling about the ball. The ball went to the far post. Bobby decoyed over Reed. The ball came back across, fell to Willian. He jinked one side and then the other, and it's genuinely, he can't put it anywhere else. He has to put it in the top corner. And I think it might have been his weaker foot as well. And it's an incredible finish. It's an incredible finish from Willian. Top bins. And that really did shut up the Forest fans for a while, because they were making a lot of noise. And it was 1-0 to Fulham, and I really did think that this was going to be a tough game for us. And the way in which Forest have been playing, they've been unbeaten, I think, in 5 or 6 games coming into this one as well, barring the Carabao Cup exit in the semi-final to Manchester United. But wow, it was incredible. 1-0 up, and then from then until half time, it probably is one of the strongest spells I've seen Fulham all season. And I'm trying to think of something better, and I can't. So I have to say it was the strongest spell I've seen from us all season. Although we didn't score, ironically, within that time, we went into half-time at 1-0, which was slightly concerning given all the chances we had. But it wasn't the case of we were wasting our chances. We just came very, very close to scoring. Mitrovic with an incredible turn and then turn again, and Keylor Navas actually made the save. When the initial shot came in, I thought he just completely missed the target. And we'll get on to Mitrovic a little bit later. But it was brilliant from Fulham. The intensity, we couldn't let Forest out. We could not let them out of our half. Pereira, Mitrovic, Paulinho, Reed, all winning the ball really high up the pitch. And it was just wave after wave of attack. Bobby decoyed over Reed, gets the ball 30 yards out, and he thinks, yeah, I'm going to have a go. And he crashes the crossbar. Fulham hit the post 3 times in the game. I remember us hitting the bar or the post 3 times in a game against Reading in 07-08 when we won 2-0. Eric Nevland, of course, scored the winning goal in the Great Escape season. But I can't remember another game where we might have hit 3, maybe in the Championship days, but so many games, you can't remember. That one sticks out for me personally. But yeah, just wave after wave of attack. Chances galore. Pereira shot wide. It was just, we were creating good chances by overturning the ball really, really quickly. And any time that Forest would come forward, we would sweep it up and go again. It was they couldn't really get out. And that was concerning for them, but it was so good to see. And it was fluid, fast. Robinson, Willian, Bobby D over Reed, like really good on either flank. Kenny Tete getting forward as well, who of course had a lot to live up to after his great game against Chelsea. Didn't think he was incredible in this game, but he still did a job, and it's still another clean sheet. Let's go on to the second half, where things were getting nervous, although we started, again, like a steam train in the second half. Willian with the shot coming off the post. Pereira's free kick, which hit the bar, like the top of the bar, very similar to Bobby D over Reed's effort earlier, and it was just absolutely fantastic. And honestly, yes, and at some point you expect a storm, you expect a barrage of chances from Forest, but it was only about a 7-10 minute spell, and within that they had Dennis with a big shot over the bar. That was a big chance, and of course the header at the back post, which was an amazing save from Leno. A couple of balls flashed across the box, dangerous stuff. But actually, and I know this is sort of like bittersweet, but Willian's injury, albeit he is injured and had to come off, I don't know the extent of it, but we'll see in the coming days. But that really stifled Nottingham Forest's momentum in the game, and actually from there they couldn't quite pick up the sort of momentum they were building within that spell of the game. And actually Fulham albeit we didn't actually take control of the game from there, we managed to sort of settle down and actually defend, and as a unit we were very, very good. Tim Ream making a really important tackle when he ran across, I think it might have been Morgan Gibbs-White, and he got a little clip from him as he made the tackle, but recovered well. Leno claimed a couple of corners. I've been going on for a while, but the game had a lot in it. There was a lot in the game. Of course, the match of the day highlights, I think, did us justice with all the chances that we had. Didn't quite do Forest justice with a couple of chances that they had. But we're obviously with a winning team, so I suppose you want to reflect that. But yeah, I thought it was a really, really good game. And obviously, let's come on to the second goal, Manor Solomon. It's a perfect goal. And in fact, it reminds me of a Stefan Johansson goal that he scored against Nottingham Forest in a 2-0 win when we rode a storm in 17-18. That was also in February. Stefan Johansson basically drove all the way forward when there was runners, using a player by not using him and distracting the defenders, and he slotted it home to make it 2-0 after I think Bettinelli made like a double save or something in the second half. But this one was, well, first of all, Wilson gets completely taken out. That would have been a free kick and a yellow card. Referee played advantage. Then Tete clicks up the ball. He gets clipped, still stays on his feet, finds the pass. Pereira's pass. Oh, it's so good. I can't believe he manages to find Solomon without really looking. He just knows he's there. Solomon in the box. It's one of them ones where he has to score, doesn't he? He has to score. And he finished it really well against Keylor Navas, who thought was excellent, honestly, against Leeds. And yesterday didn't have his best game, but he made a couple of very, very good saves. And that was it, 2-0. And it was such a relief around Craven Cottage because it was a tense second half. It was nervous. And I thought if we'd have dropped 2 points from that would have been really, really disappointing. What does it mean? 35 points. I think now we can sort of say, that's it, we're safe. We're going to be Premier League next season, which is, of course, what every Fulham fan wanted back in August. 35 points, up to 7th. We can start. We've already, spoke about Europe, and obviously that game against Brighton next week is going to be huge. But I've rambled on for a while, but I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. The Fulham fans were brilliant. They will really enjoy this. We're going to enjoy this win. Obviously, there'll be a podcast out on Monday morning reflecting on this game. This was sort of like the quick take version. This might be a thing going forward. The match reaction: Fulham 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Any more to say on the game? Well, obviously, we'll see with Willian. Mitrovic went off as well. Apparently, he got some sort of injury in the warm-up, but soldiered on. Let's quickly just mention Mitrovic. He had a bit of an off game. I thought he was fairly unlucky. I mean, he was denied by a good save by Keylor Navas after some really nice skill. He just, in terms of his headering, when he went to attack the ball, he was always beaten in the air because there was some decent defensive headers from Nottingham Forest. And then that one where he came onto the ball, and actually it was a really good opportunity to score, and it looked very Mitrovic-esque sort of chance. I think he might have just seen that ball a little bit too late, and it just hit the wrong part of his head. Strikers have these instances where they go through spells where they don't score, but the good thing is we're getting goals all over the pitch. Willian and Solomon getting the goals. It's not like we're relying on Mitrovic's goals to stay up. or to get us out of trouble. We're in a situation where he's scored 11 league goals this season, and the goals have been shared about, and that's fine. He hasn't brought back anything saying, oh, he can't do it in the Premier League. He definitely can. But he's just gone for a 3 or 4 game period where he hasn't scored a goal. It's very, very normal in a striker's career, and he's won us more points than he's lost us, even with the penalties that he's taken over the years. So I'll always die on that hill. Mitrovic, for me, he's still brilliant with his hold-up play, and even he is playing through an injury right now. Really, I mean, he's had that injury since November. And I think that deserves a lot of credit. It shows how much he wants to play for the shirt. And I think before we sort of get on his back about lack of goals, we have to remember that what he's done and what he's doing right now, which is basically playing with pain, I think, in his foot or his ankle. So let's wrap it up there. I've been going on for a while, but yeah, you're allowed to. It's great. Join myself and Joe Sansom again on Wednesday for the Jack and Joe show. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. We've hit 5k, but we want to start looking up towards the 6k mark and beyond. Thanks very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. Fulham 2, Nottingham Forest 0, 35 points, 7th in the table. Big old praise from Danny Murphy and Alan Shearer on Match of the Day. It's the stuff of dreams. Enjoy your Sunday and come on Fulham.